Ranking One Piece villains right here, right now. As you guys see, I have the tiers laid out for you. I have S tier as Will of the Best. Amazing is going to be A tier. Good, that's going to be B tier. We have Meh, that's going to be C tier. And then you have D worst, that's going to be D tier. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Now, this isn't going to be a power ranking. Remember, we're going to be ranking these off of who fulfills their role as a villain or antagonist better. And of course, there's going to be some characters in here that may be related to the newest chapter, 1084, because it was peak, absolutely peak. We're just going to dive into it now. Let's get to it. So the first character we have up here is going to be Alvida, and just to start things off nice and quick, I'm gonna say Alvida's D tier. To me, she was just a character used to, you know, be the introduction tool for Koby. Good glow up, of course, still involved in the story, but as an antagonist or villain, D. Definitely gonna say D. So the character we have next is Arlong, and Arlong easily, that's gonna be an S tier. I'm gonna put Arlong at S tier. I really think as an actual villain, Arlong did his job really well. Even after Arlong Park, just elements of Arlong still follows you. You still think back to Arlong. Arlong always finds a way to get brought up. So many memorable moments. S tier. Arlong's S tier. Next character we have up is going to be Bellamy. Now, Bellamy is another character I feel like who fulfills his role perfectly. Not S tier caliber, but for an antagonist and for what he represents in the story, I'm gonna put him as an A tier. I really think he is. I mean, I might have a lot of jokes about Bellamy all the time, but Bellamy is an A tier antagonist. Everything that he's brought from the Jaya art, then to popping back up in Dressrosa, still battling his demons in a way, trying to find his own way and path. Yeah, I think it's A tier, definitely. Now we have our man Buggy D Clown. Now this might be a hot take, I don't know. I'm putting Buggy at a C tier. I'm gonna do it, but hear me out. To me, this isn't Buggy from, you know, Impel Down Marineford. This isn't, you know, Cross Guild Buggy. This is the Buggy that was, you know, in Orange Town trying to, you know, when we first saw him, and to me, he was more of a gag character, you know, comedy. You know, I didn't even know he was gonna be still part of the story, but you know, he's as an antagonist, you know, villain. As a villain, I'm gonna put him as C. You know, we love Buggy. Now, ironically, next character we have up is Caesar the Clown. So, you know, I'm gonna put Caesar at B. I really am. You know, at first, when I first saw Caesar, when he popped up into the story, I thought he was going to be like another Buggy. He goes down that avenue more for a villain. In Punk Hazard, he was terrifying. You saw what he was doing. He's funny. He has his funny moments, but I'm definitely going to put him at B. Caesar's definitely going to be a B tier character right there. Let me put him up there before I forget. Now, the next character we have up here is definitely not a fan favorite, but it's going to be Akainu. Look, Akainu right now, off of the little time that we've seen from him, I still think he's A tier. He is. The moment we see more from him that we think we're going to, he's going to move up to the S tier easily. So at the moment, A tier. Everything he's done just in Marineford alone, that earned him a spot in A tier, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of excited to get to this next character. The next character we have up here is Crocodile. Crocodile to me is going to be another S tier villain. I mean, from everything, from the way he moves, you know, even when he takes L's, he's S tier. Crocodile just, he's like a miniature Yonko. When you think about it, with Alabasta, he had the organization moving. He had so many things in motion. He was like a miniature version of what a Yonko is in a way. Not calling him a Yonko at any means, but he still has a little bit of mystery to him. He always just does his thing, man. Crocodile is an S tier, definitely. All right, now, so the next character we have up now is Don Krieg. So I'm actually gonna put, I'm gonna put Don Krieg at a C. I'm gonna put him at the very bottom C. I'm not gonna put him at D. I don't know why. He didn't do anything memorable like an Arlong or not even Buggy, you know? So I'm gonna put him under Buggy. I might put him at D later, but at the moment, we're just gonna have him at C. I'm not gonna talk a lot about him. We're just gonna have him at C. Now, the next character I do have a lot to talk about. Robert Lucci, man. Rob Lucci. We're gonna put him at A. Rob Lucci is a really good antagonist. Every time he pops up on the screen, he keeps things entertaining. I'm putting him over Akainu because, I mean, we've just seen more of him in the story. So I mean, hey, it is what it is right now, you know? Like, every time he pops up, I mean, he's part of one of my favorite arcs of all time in Water 7, and then what he's doing in the manga right now, teaming up, you know, with Luffy and Zoro and with Kaku. It's just those type of elements I love. I'm putting Rob Lucci at A. Next up, now we have Big Mom. This one might be a hot take to some, but I have my reasons. I'm actually gonna put Big Mom at A, not at S tier. I feel like Whole Cake Island, yes, Whole Cake Island was amazing, but Whole Cake Island really wasn't her arc. You know, it was, to me, it was more of Sanji. It was more of Sanji than Katakuri just pulled up as well. We already knew what to expect from Big Mom in a way. We got some of her backstory. I feel like some pieces were missing. A lot of main pieces with her characters missing that could elevate her to S tier, but she exemplifies how terrifying a Yonko should truly be perfectly. She might move up by the end of the video, she might not, depending on if she pops back up, you know, in the manga. I'll move her up, but A's fair. A's fair. Next up, we have Foxy, man. Fan favorite, but you also have to know where Foxy is going. Come on now. I'm putting him at D worst. I'm putting him at the low tier. I'm not gonna put him lower than Alvida, Vegeta, but I'm putting him at the bottom tier. You know, Foxy, as a villain or antagonist, he just doesn't check any of the boxes, if we're being honest. He's more of a gag character, comedy, you know? I'm not gonna put him at the lowest, but I'm gonna put him at D. Leave in the comments below what you think about that. Alright, so next up we have our dude Mr. 3, and I'm actually gonna put him at B tier. I'm gonna put him under Caesar. To me, he was decent in Little Garden. To me, that's when he was an actual antagonist compared to what he's doing now. I mean, if I remember correctly, I think it was, he made the Straw Hats fight, you know what I'm saying? They were struggling, so I'm gonna give him a B. He made them struggle more than Buggy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Maybe I should move him, I don't know. No, we're gonna keep him right there at where he is, right under Caesar. Yep. Alright, next up, we have Magellan. I think Magellan is a necessary character. In Impel Down, he stole the show. Bro gave the antagonist and protagonist both the work. Plot had to nerf him. Plot armor nerfed him pretty much for him to have his drawbacks and everything. So Magellan, I'm actually gonna put him, yeah, I'm putting Magellan at A. Yeah, I mean, we saw more from him than Akainu. We know Akainu is gonna show out later on. That's the thing. We're doing this about right now, not what we think they're gonna be at by the end of the story. Impel Down. Now I want to rewatch it now. I might rewatch it. Next up, we have Gecko Moria. Now, Gecko Moria, I'm gonna give him some credit here because we know Thriller Bark is a very controversial, talked about arc. Gecko Moria still did his thing. He still made the Straw Hat struggle. You know, as a villain, he was terrifying. Everything about the arc was creepy, you know, and that was his element. I'm gonna put Gecko Moria at C. Next character we have up is a fan favorite in Enel. I'm gonna put Enel at A tier. I am. I'm gonna put him below Akainu, but he is the actual reason why I think Skypiea, you know, is a good arc. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Just, yes, Skypiea has the gems and everything. It has clues. It has so much. It's a treasure. He was the glue to everything. When you think about it, at that time, bro was unstoppable. If he does come back, you know how some think he's gonna come back, some think he may not. We don't know if he comes back, how he will be, depending on how that and when that happens. You know, he could move up to an S tier or higher up on here, but I'm gonna have him at A tier. Next up, we have a fan favorite in Higuma, the dude that tried to flex his berry count on Shanks. I'm gonna put him at C just because of the hype, you know, because now that moment always comes back in full circle, and it's so funny. I'm actually gonna put him down at D. All right, now next up we have Kaido. Now, easily, if we were going off of strength alone, S tier. Part of me wants to put him at, you know, high A tier, but if I have Big Mom at A tier, some people still might not agree with this. I'm putting Kaido at S tier, man. I'm gonna put him above Arlong. Kaido has, to me, checked every box for a villain, man. Look at what he did in Wano. Even before Wano, his reputation. How he introduced himself in the story. Bro jumped off a cloud. Just jumped off from a cloud. And still here. Everything about him. If you watched a 1-season or a 2-season anime and a villain popped up doing what Kaido was doing, that's the final villain. You know what I'm saying? That right there, to me, that's S tier. And he pushed the MC to the core. Like, Gear 5, you know, is gonna be literally one of the most historic moments in anime history, and one of the characters that's a big part of that is Kaido. You know what I'm saying? He's an unsung hero of that legacy. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. The next character we have up now is Katakuri, but I'm gonna make this non-biased, because if I had my way, oh, I'll put Katakuri at S tier too. You already know. But actually, I'm gonna just put him at A tier. I'm putting him at A tier. When you look at it, the A tier definitely are characters that gave Luffy the work. But then you have Bellamy. The way that Katakuri just pulled up, he's not a villain, you know, he's more of an antagonist. He does what he does for his family. I feel like we're definitely gonna see more of him, but he went through it with Luffy. It was just one of the best fights in the whole story. In a way, he was like Luffy's better version at that time. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's the perfect antagonist slash rival. I'm gonna have him at A tier. I don't really know where in the A tier, so I just put him literally just in the middle. I'll be updating this list. All right, so next up we have Kuro. I'm gonna put him at a high C. Actually, no, I'm gonna put him at a low B. Now, if you see my pre-time skip arc video, you know that I put Syrup Village a little bit low, but I think Kuro actually fulfills his role pretty well. Better than Buggy did, you know? I don't know if that might be a hot take. Let me know what you think in the comments and we'll talk about it. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna keep him right now, just right now. Now, next up, we have a character that I feel like has been cooking for a minute. It's Blackbeard. I'm gonna tell you right now, Blackbeard has always been cooking. I'm gonna put him in S tier. I am. There's no way. I don't see how he could be A tier. We know he's gonna be the final villain, but look at all he's done right now. You know, if it's off screen, bet on Blackbeard. It's not about that. He checks all the boxes when it comes to a menacing villain. He ignited Marineford. He's the one that captured Ace, that started everything. And then it Impel Down, you know, when Luffy's trying to break Ace out, Blackbeard's right there. After that, at Marineford, who pops back up again eventually? Blackbeard does. And then you jump to the manga and you see what's going on there. You see he's playing chess. You see all the captains he put together. He's been recruiting this whole time. Like, you saw how he was recruiting Aokiji. It just, we haven't seen how well he knows how to use either devil fruits. He gonna cook, so S tier. I'm putting Blackbeard at S tier right now. Next up, we have Hody Jones. Now, I know a lot of people have some mixed feelings about Hody Jones, and I almost put him at D, and I almost put him at B, but instead, I'm gonna put him at C. As a villain, I think he really did a good job. I mean, you know, his reputation carried down there, you know, and what he brought to that arc arc. You know, the final battle was cool. I'm gonna put him at C. I'm gonna put him right under Gecko Moria, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna put Gecko Moria above that. I'm not gonna do that to Gecko Moria. No. Next character we have is Axe Hand Morgan. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I'm gonna just put bro at D. I should have made a lower tier for him. I'm gonna just have him at the bottom of the D worst right there, okay? So I think that's good. I think that's agreeable. Now, the next character we have, another one, I'm probably gonna put the bottom tier. It's Wapol. Look, man, during the Drum Island arc, that's when he, you know, was supposed to be the villain and antagonist, and he didn't do anything memorable. And there's a lot of memorable things that happened in Drum Island. It had nothing to do with him at all. And because of that, yeah, I'm definitely gonna put him at D. I'm gonna put him right there behind Alvida, because I know we're seeing him in the manga now with Vivi and Big News Morgans, but we don't really know what direction he's going in. We don't know what he's up to. Right now, it sounds like he's just in hiding. It sounds like he saw something that he shouldn't have seen, and now he's terrified. After we find out, he might move up. We don't know, but I doubt he's up to something that crazy. And then next up, we have arguably our favorite One Piece villain, Doflamingo. You already know where this is going. Dofi is the walking blueprint for S tier villain in One Piece. And oh, whoa, Crocodile trying to fight him with Doflamingo had our attention from the beginning. His outfits, his style, his drip, his persona, just everything about him, just his backstory, everything he went through, the direction, his decisions he made. Doflamingo was just so well written. His Devil Fruit's not the strongest. His IQ and his Devil Fruit control, you know, and I don't think that's talked about as much. Like, bro's just gliding through the clouds. Like, right when Dressrosa started, we knew enough about him, and it was just done so perfectly. We knew when he lost at Dressrosa that we were gonna see him again, and now look what's happening in the manga. That is the S tier villain right there. Now I have one more character right here, and as you can see, it's Imu-sama. Now, like I said, you know, chapter 1084 just came out. The chapter was fire, and you know, a lot of info, more than we expected, came out. I'm gonna put Imu at S tier. You know, of course, by the end of the story, Imu is gonna be, you know, most likely the #1 villain of One Piece. Right now, I'm just gonna put Imu at S tier just to get it up out in the air, you know, start talking about it, because we're in the end game. It's game time, you know. The chapter was crazy. But yeah, guys, the list looks complete. It looks decent. It looks decent, not gonna lie. And like I said before, let me know in the comments what you think about this list. If you don't see some characters that you want to see in the next list, let me know too, and I'll add them. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and join the family. I post content every day. It's a party. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun doing this again for you guys. I'm gonna have another video coming out for you guys next week. So until then, stay tuned and God bless.